the Big Horseshoe, Ohio Stadium, Script, Ohio. One of those famous maneuvers in the history of marching bands in this country. The I dotted just a few moments ago. ABC Sports welcomes you to college football. It's the Big Ten. Michigan against Ohio State for the 91st time. The standings tell the story. Penn State is headed to Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State and Michigan at 5-2. They will play for a berth in the Citrus Bowl. Coming up next, it's Ohio State and Michigan. Does the home team have an edge? Not in this rivalry. Weather. Not gray, not overcast, no rain. A beautiful day and a fast track for these two teams. Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. You're perhaps wondering, where's my colleague Dick Vermeil? Well, it's become a tradition here. Whenever we do an Ohio State game, we go down the road to Waverly, Ohio. There's a little inn. We go up the creaky steps. We find out from the psychic who's going to win this game. Let's go inside now and find Dick.
Cherie, I've been here 3 years in a row to ask you to predict the outcome of an Ohio State Buckeye football game. The Citrus Bowl's at stake. University of Michigan's in town. What are your feelings?
Michigan.
Michigan. Do you have a feeling score-wise?
29-21. And a helmet. Ohio State. A helmet hits the ground. And Michigan gets the ball.
Michigan gets the ball. Turnover. Now, I work with Brent Musburger and a character named Jackaroo. Give me a feeling on Jackaroo.
He's not the person he appears. He's very warm on the inside and shows no, but not caring on the outside. He doesn't say what he means.
Come on, Jack. You got to tell us what. That'll teach you not to show up early. Where you been, Jackaroo?
I've been hot on some stories. Remember, Brett, I don't appear to be what I mean, or whatever Cherie said. But listen to this strange thing that occurred. She talked about helmets, right? Well, last night, the University of Michigan locker room was broken into, and 6 helmets were stolen. Some from very important people like Todd Collins, Amani Toomer, and also Tyrone Wheatley. Now, everybody got helmets to replace them except for Toomer. Toomer won't have a normal receiver's helmet today. They only bring so many replacement helmets. Some other weird things have been happening since we've been to Columbus as well. All through the week, when we walked on the streets, when we watched the TV, listened on the radio, everybody was saying that the outcome of this game could determine the future for Ohio State's head coach, John Cooper. Now, he has 1 more year left on his contract, but many people say that whether he wins this game or not could determine whether he's back in Columbus or not. Now, according to the athletic director, Andy Geiger, and Gordon Gee, the president of Ohio State, they will not make any sort of determination on Cooper's future until after the season. But let me tell you, the feeling down here and all throughout Columbus is how they do in this game will determine whether we'll see John Cooper back in Ohio State in the Horseshoe in 1995. A lot of action underway, and we'll be back with it and the kickoff right after this.
John Cooper, winless in this series, would love to break through, but let me give you a set of numbers that are unbelievable. The home team, I mentioned that no home team enjoys an advantage in this series. It is 43 victories for the home team, 41 for the road team, and 6 ties. That defines a rivalry, doesn't it? Coach Moeller won the flip. He did not defer. The Wolverines will take the ball. They wish to go on offense, so the Bucks will kick it off. Mike Malfat, the freshman from Dublin, Ohio, puts the ball down on the tee here for the Bucks. It's an interesting mood in Columbus this week. I expected it might be anger, but it was not. They are very optimistic, and why not? The Wolverines have been leaking touchdown passes in that defensive backfield. Here's the 602nd kickoff in Michigan-Ohio State history from the 15-yard line with Seth Smith going nowhere. Todd Collins. It's what he accomplished a week ago against Minnesota, throwing for 352 yards. Led by number 6, Tyrone Wheatley. He'll be the tailback. Very talented wide receivers with Toomer and Hayes. Behind this offensive line, Jenkins, Runyon, Payne, Marinero, and Gwines. Now defensively, the front 7. And a good one for the Bucks. The defensive backfield will have their hands full against Collins, Springs, Paul, Patillo, and Kerner. And we're underway with 1st and 10. Hayes goes in motion. Wheatley with the game's first carry. Wheatley out to the 23-yard line. And Dick Vermeil, what's the Michigan plan here offensively?
Well, Gary Moeller wants to mix up his formations early in the ball game and get an idea how Ohio State plans to defense him. He wants to use a lot of 2 tight ends, both with 2 wide receivers and 3 receiver situations. And he also wants to get the ball outside, Brent, early and get that defense stretched.
Double tight and a deep tailback in Wheatley. Hayes and Toomer are the wide receivers for Michigan. The deep handoff is to Wheatley. He breaks his first tackle and then is surrounded at the 26. Tim Patillo coming up to join the scarlet and gray shirts there defensively. Now, on the other side of the coin, you spent a lot of time watching the Bucks practice. You've been with Bill Young. Defensively, what will they attempt to do here today?
Well, Bill Young says they want to play field position football. They want to start out this first quarter. They want to be a little bit conservative. He says they're still a little shell shocked from that Penn State bombardment, so they're going to start out conservatively and try like mad not to give up a big play, Brent.
Well, it's 3rd and 1 in a very tight formation for Michigan with Ed Davis in at running back for the Wolverines. Basically 3 tight ends, power football, cutback. 1st down Wolverines, and Lorenzo Styles, number 90, expects to be very active in that middle linebacking spot here today.
Well, he's been very active all year. He's a fine football player. All Big Ten last year and probably will be again this year. Comes in the ball game with 113 tackles. He fills those holes real well. Critical today that the 2 defensive tackles do a good job on these 2 great big offensive guards from Michigan.
They use Che Foster in front of Davis now in the basic I formation with a slot to the right for the Wolverines. And then they send Davis out to give him an extra receiver to the left side. Collins on 1st down, fires to Toomer. Toomer slips a tackle. Bad defensive work in the defensive backfield as he gets across midfield.
He is so elusive. He's made big plays all year, Amani Toomer, out of Berkeley, California. They went in motion, spread the defense, get the isolation 1-on-1 to the bottom of your screen. Now you'll see Sean Springs, 24, just playing very loose. He's playing a conservative zone approach. Now he doesn't come to balance properly right there, and he misses the tackle. You have to tackle well when you're going to approach this young man, Amani Toomer.
21 yards to Toomer from Collins. They cross midfield. Davis stays in the running back. Wheatley continues to be out. Double tight end, and Collins on a deep handoff on the delay.
Bumbo.
Finken hit him. Matt Finkus, the Bucks are indicating they've got it.
They have to, whether they called it down or not.
They call it down, and it will be 2nd down with Tyrone Wheatley, number 6, returning from the Michigan sideline.
You mentioned Matt Finkus. He's had a very good year, Brent. He's very aggressive as a young man. He'll be back to play next year. The other defensive end, Mike Vrabel, 94, they're really fine outside defensive linemen, and they make a lot of plays collapsing outside in.
2nd and 12 for Collins and the Wolverines. The ball at the Michigan 49-yard line. No score, just underway in Columbus. Wheatley swings to the left, had a big hole. Wheatley explodes to the 30-yard line.
Awfully good job of blocking up there by Jay Reamersma, the tight end, who is a converted quarterback, to the right side of your screen. He blocks down. The guard pulls out there, gets a nice kick-out block. There's the lane, and this man has such bursting speed that he can get through those cracks quickly.
Wheatley hit the Buckeyes in Ann Arbor a year ago for 105 yards and 16 carries in that 28-0 shellacking. He left because of an injury in the 2nd quarter. Wheatley has given Michigan a 1st down at the Buckeye 30-yard line. Wheatley again behind the left side, only for a yard. And let's check in now with John Saunders in New York. Winner goes to the Comp USA Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. The loser will go to the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Second down. Here's Wheatley. Steps his way to the 26-yard line. This is going to leave the Wolverines with an apparent passing situation on third down. Randall Brown of Detroit made the stop, and look at this visitor.
That's too many men on the field, isn't it?
That's Jack Arute will stop at nothing to get information from the sidelines.
Bill Young said if they get close to that red zone, he'll pick it up, maybe come after him with a blitz in these situations.
So it is the 3rd and 6 now for Collins and the Wolverines. Slot formation to the right. Ed Davis, the running back. He's out as a receiver. They've got Davis. Davis short of the first down. Good stop by Marlon Kerner.
The linebacker didn't get over in coverage on him. They were playing everybody else man-to-man underneath and backing him up with 2 free safeties. Very good tackling. This is why it's critical to have people that can make the hit. See him bend those knees, get those pads into him. Nice job by Marlon Kerner. Prevents that first down.
So now on 4th and short, Coach Moeller and the Wolverines with the first decision, and it's an easy one. They've got a yard to go, and they'll go for it here. They'll pass up the field goal opportunity with Che Foster. Chances are you can follow Foster. He'll lead to the hole. 2 tight ends now for the Wolverines. They need to cross the 20-yard line. Quick change up. Foster relays to Wheatley, and it's a timeout. Didn't like what he saw, and Collins is going over to the Michigan sideline. College football on ABC, brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. Magnavox. Hey, we make technology people want. Magnavox. Smart, very smart. Smooth Busch beer and easy drinking Busch Light. MDIBM Corporation. Michigan and Ohio State are underway. First possession for the Wolverines, and they have driven down to the Buckeyes' 21-yard line. They have 4th and 1, having called a timeout. Expect anything here, Dick, huh?
Well, you know, Gary Moeller in the past has really surprised us in these 4th down situations, hitting the big play with a play-action pass.
Foster and Wheatley are behind Collins. Straight drop back and a throw over. Incomplete. Buckeyes take over. He outsmarted himself. When you're moving the ball on the ground, baby, send Wheatley off tackle for the yard.
Or if you're going to throw it, use the strong play action and pull those linebackers in. Boy, that would surprise me. It's one he will second guess himself, I believe. Back out of the backfield there, gets sets up, throws it over there. Just not a good throw. He's slipping and falling off balance. Can't make the play. Big play for Ohio State. A coaching error, I think. Brent, I really think he will second guess himself on that one. When you are physically good enough, give your kids a chance to prove it. Let them go get after someone's butt.
Especially after a timeout. There were no audible, no situations. Sualua and Eddie George now are in the backfield. Reprieve for the Buckeyes. Scoreless. They come out now from the 21-yard line. Bobby Hoyne on first down. Throws complete for the first down to the 34-yard line to Sualua, the fullback from Santa Ana, California.
Well, Joe Hollis said they wanted to start out by changing up their first down situations. They came into this ball game running 68% of the time on first down. He says we're going to start right out and change it up.
There's Bobby, 17 TDs this year and 13, an improving quarterback. Behind him, keep an eye on Eddie George, and certainly the big play man is Joey Galloway. But don't overlook number 17. 2 great tackles, ladies and gentlemen, and Corey Stringer and Orlando Pace. Coaches all around the league are raving about these 2. Here's George on a slashing cutback, still going out to the 40-yard line. Defensively now for the Wolverines, they will line up this way, and this is where this team has experienced great trouble. Not so much here with the front 7, led by Steve Morrison, Jared Irons. Nice to have Matt Dyson healthy if you're a Wolverine fan. But in this secondary, they have altered the combinations. They have 11 defensive backs ready to go here today, and we'll see if they can settle on something.
You know, I'll bet you that Bo Schembechler, who was sitting down to the right here a little ways, just about jumped out of the booth on that call.
Second down and 5. George. And that was Jarrett Irons pounding him, and the ball is down. Michigan's recovered it.
And there's a guy that hasn't fumbled the ball very much at all year. He fumbled 3 times in 234 carries, losing 2, and he starts out by fumbling right now.
Jason Horn came up with it.
You don't want to turn the ball over at any time, but in this field position, it is really critical. He's got the ball tucked in that right arm. Morrison comes in there and just rips it out of there. Good job by senior Steve Morrison. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's outstanding in regard to securing the football. He just made a mistake right now. Well, Cherie said there'd be a fumble or two, didn't she?
Ron Winter is our Big Ten referee here running things. Jimmy Augustine is the umpire in Michigan with a 1st and 10 in Buckeye territory. Wheatley is the lone running back. Slot formation to the right for Michigan with Todd Collins. There was movement on the right side of the offense.
Boy, I think Coach Mueller and staff got a reprieve with that turnover after that 4th down call. I still can't get over that. That confuses me. It really does.
Dead ball. Ball starts. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
You know, coaches have a tendency to overestimate the opponent's talent and underestimate their own talent. I think that's an example of it right there, Brent. When you're as physically as good as Michigan, let those kids come off the ball and get after them.
1st and 15. Slot to the right. Collins. Now it's Wheatley swinging to the left. Nowhere. It'll be 2nd and 15. Styles again defensively there.
It shows you the value of pursuit on a play like that. There's a knockdown block at the point of attack, yet the backside rush, backside pursuers make the play.
Dennis Mogg checks in for the Buckeye bench.
They go to a nickel package now, Brennan, these long yardage situations.
Ed Davis and Shea Foster are in the backfield.
They're not lined up properly yet.
They put Davis in motion. Collins at the 45-yard line by Finkus.
Matt Finkus getting his 10th sack. Number 2 sacker in the Big Ten, just proves his ability right there coming from the left defensive tackle position. Normally he plays outside. This time he's lined up inside working on different people rather than the offensive tackle. Here he is right inside here, working here. Gets a good rush anyway from the outside people. Man in motion. See, the defense is a little bit confused right now. They're a little bit late in getting lined up. Didn't affect the pass rush. Here they are coming in strong.
That's a 9-yard loss. This is 3rd and 24 for the Wolverines. Penalty flag is down. It's complete to Hayes. That would be a 1st down, but hold on. A holding call could be bringing this one back.
You know, the big offensive right tackle, Thomas Gwines, number 75 for Michigan, is having a hard time with a hard outside rush right now, Brent. They're going to have to give him some help, either with a tight end or a running back chipping over there as he comes out. You see what I'm talking about right here? He's already turned, lets the man get outside right there. He's got the takedown, see, rather than let him get to the quarterback. Powell had him beat hard to the outside.
Now remember that it's from the spot of the holding. So, ladies and gentlemen, this ball is coming back to the 25. This is a 3rd and 44. And now go back to that gamble on 4th and yards up there, even though they got a turnover. That one play has made Wolverines a little unsettled here.
What would you call here, Coach?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Probably run a draw.
There it is. And Wheatley to the 32-yard line with Styles. Wolverines in an obvious punting situation. No score first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, Bill Young and the defensive staff have to be very, very excited about that series to get the turnover there that they gave them in plus territory and go in and end up with field position punting from here. Very fine defensive series from the Buckeyes.
Greg Baker. And they came after it. Galloway was back deep. Ball is out of bounds. There's 92,000 jammed into Ohio Stadium. And right now, they're feeling real good about how things are going in the early minutes of this one. But Oregon with its hands full, favored by 6.5 over Oregon State. They've got to handle the wishbone. They struggled against an option team at Hawaii early this year. That's the Civil War out in Oregon today. And what a story the Ducks have become. Now it's George and Sualua. Split backs for the Buckeyes. Hoying, the quarterback. Galloway shifts it further out, a yard to the left. They're coming off the corner. They blitz the run that time. And George with less than a yard. We send you to New York. And John Saunders. John. Blue Devils, quite a story. Coach Goldsmith certainly going to be nominated by a lot of folks for Coach of the Year with the job that he has done with Duke this year. Second down and 9 for Hoying. Michigan with 4 down linemen here today. George swinging to the right, now turns it upfield to the 46-yard line, and this will leave them with a 3rd and about 6.
Brent, through this year, that formation, 2 wideouts, 2 running backs split like that, has been a passing formation. They come in that formation now, and they've run a draw, and they've run a running play sweep to the outside, just trying to break some of their game tendencies.
Move past the half hour here with 5:22 left first quarter. No score. Ohio State and Michigan. Five defensive backs. Coyne gets time, throws, and incomplete. The pass was intended for Buster Tillman, number 12.
Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator, did a nice job that time of calling a coverage and then moving the coverage to a totally different scheme prior to the snap. That really is tough on a young quarterback. Bobby Hoying's improved tremendously through this year, but it's still tough to make that mental adjustment when they go from a 2 deep to a 3 deep.
Well, if this is going to be a low-scoring defensive game, then this is the part of the contest to watch. The kicking game.
Scott Turner's had a good year. They actually have an edge, Ohio State does, in the punting game, Brent.
Amani Toomer is back deep. Nice punt. Beautiful. Toomer's going to let it go. It's going to be down inside the 5. He's got to catch the ball.
He's got to catch it. You'd think he'd have a lot of confidence in catching the ball. He returned one for a touchdown here a week ago, 72 yards. Maybe it was the sun. Maybe he couldn't see it. We'll give him an out.
I thought he saw it all the way. Tito Paul recovers it. Columbus, Ohio. No score. Folks, take a look at the Michigan schedule this year. A couple of stories, a couple of points I want to make. Number one, it is the toughest schedule in NCAA football. Look at that first loss, that nightmare loss to Colorado. I don't think this team has ever completely recovered from that. Both coaches in their meetings last night mentioned it. I think we've got a fairly exhausted Michigan team out here today. They should have percolated much better than that by this time in this season. They're backed up now, coming out from their own 1-yard line, and now you've got an offensive lineman who simply blows the snap count and comes across. Trezell Jenkins, half the distance might cost him 6 inches down there.
Well, all coaches have a game plan for coming out, Brent.
False start. Offense. Penalize half the distance to the goal. First down.
The first goal is to get the ball out so they can line up in a true spread punt formation. Then, of course, you're thinking first downs and getting on out of there. But first thing, get the ball out to the 6-yard line.
George Hill on the stats informs me it's 1st and 10.5. And now it's 2nd.
See, defensively, you can really take those inside gaps. It's hard to move them out of there, everybody pinching inside. Wheatley is the kind of back, if they give him the ball back there deep, that he can hit inside and bounce outside with that great speed.
Foster's number 33. Cooper, the tight end, leaves. It's noisy in this end zone. Wheatley to the 2-yard line. Styles again.
Lorenzo Styles loves this kind of defense, Brent.
John Saunders, what's going on in North Carolina? Figured to be a close game today. Duke, of course, lost to North Carolina State, missed 4 field goals a week ago, John. So they might still be a little deflated. We'll see how that unfolds.
That's a safety. It's a safety. Brent, normally when that happens, a center will drop 1 foot, and step on the quarterback's foot as he leaves and trips him. Sometimes it's a guard. More often than not, it's the offensive center. See, it was Rod Payne sliding to his right from behind. We'll take another look, concentrate on Rod Payne's. Here's the foot, I think, that gets him right there. See it come out right there? No, it's just the left foot got him right there.
Two, 0. And remember, the situation that set this up was the great punt by Turner, and then the mental mistake in not making the catch and allowing the ball to be downed inside the 5-yard line by Tito Paul. As a result, the Buckeyes score first. They lead it by that safety.
And they'll get the ball back in good field position. Normally, after a safety, you get the ball on the plus side of the 50. Get any kind of return team.
The punter, Baker.
They're using Galloway back there. He is their punt returner.
Springs and Galloway back deep.
That's an easy ball to return.
As the Springs out of bounds at the Michigan 40-yard line.
See, absolutely no hang time by that punt. It was a flat ball. It wasn't in the air very long. The coverage can't get under and cover that. And when you kick it to a gifted athlete like Sean Springs, you're in trouble.
Well, the Goodyear blimp is floating overhead, providing our beautiful aerial views for today's game. The Goodyear blimp, one of America's most enduring corporate images. The image down here right now is Buckeyes leaded by a safety. 3:25 left first quarter in the Big Horseshoe with the skyline of Columbus in the background. 40 yards away, the Bucks will play on a short field. George and Sualua are in the eye behind Hoyne. George gets the call. George to the 38-yard line.
They like to run the ball over there toward big Corey Stringer. Either it be directly behind him or a counter like that play. He is such a good offensive one-on-one blocker. All-American, 2-time will be an All-American again this year. 330 pounds. Here he is right in the middle of your screen here. Great big guy. Now he sets him up, takes him down underneath. That's Zinkowitz he's taken underneath. But penetration inside prevented a clean execution play.
Tony Henderson off the sideline defensively for the Wolverines.
Tackles over, Brent. 2 big tackles side by side.
And they roll Hoyne in that direction. Throws incomplete. A one-hopper. They run it Galloway. Good coverage by Ty Law. He's the best cover man in that defensive backfield for the Wolverines, and it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Bucks.
You mentioned Ty Law. Last year he had 6 pass interceptions himself, only 1 this year. The entire defense only has 6 interceptions this year. That's their biggest drop-off, is in that pass defense phase. A lot of young guys, Brent, as you mentioned, 11 different people.
Aliquippa, PA, and they'll stay away from number 22. He hasn't had as many shots at intercepting the ball as he had a year ago.
They're moving the defense over now and get in front of those 2 big tackles.
The Bucks with a slot. Complete to number 17, Chris Sanders.
See, in this formation in weeks past, they've used it as a change-up formation, and they basically run the football from it. Here we've seen the formation, and they're throwing the ball. Here's the slot formation outside the two big tackles. They read the zone. Sanders settles down in the zone and waits for the football. Gets it, but not enough for the first down.
Left them a yard shy, but the Bucks don't hesitate. John Cooper with perhaps his job on the line here today, knowing that he needs either a victory or a real good outing. Saddle up, and here they come. 4th and 1. Bet they don't throw a drop back pass.
They've got Pace and Stringer side by side. That's 650 pounds lined up over there, Brent. It's a wonder the field doesn't tilt that direction.
Hoyne calls timeout. Didn't like what he saw. You're going to go on 4th and 1. Best to jump the defense, isn't it? We'll be right back. Jeff Blake and the Bengals were just a little bit better. Lorenzo White, you'll see him at running back on Monday night. They'll go to power football and try to break through a win for the second time. Here the Bucks need a little power football. It's 4th and 1.
And they'll run it right behind the big power. I'd be surprised if they don't.
They add the tight end. Here comes George. First down, 25-yard line.
Boy, and I'll tell you this, Bobby Hoying almost did not get the ball seated to the tailback. He was using a reverse pivot move and didn't get around quickly enough, and darn near didn't get him the ball. He reverses around. Now look at it, he barely gets it to him. He got it there, good blocking at the point of attack, gives it to a big, strong kid out of Philadelphia, Abington High School, Fort Union Prep School, and there he goes, first down. Here there's tackles over again. Now they have a pass going out the backside off this. We're going to see here pretty quick, Brent.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Bucks are on the move. Penalty flag is down. There is a penalty flag. So we'll get the call, and then we'll send it to John Saunders right after the officials call here. You can just take it on that.
Well, Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, was concerned about those tackles over. And he's going to move his defensive line over.
It's 2-0 Buckeyes lead with a safety. They're on the move here with a first down. Goal at the 36-yard line. They come over behind those two safeties. To Galloway and out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
See, with those two big tackles over there, it gives you a real good blocking service. So you got 650 pounds over there to block any kind of a rush, and it's an unbalanced line. Here they are. See, these are two big offensive linemen. That creates a nice wall for the quarterback to sprint out to. Big people. It gets the block by the George right there. Nice throwing lane, zone coverage. And Lloyd Carr says they're going to play a lot of zone today. They don't want to give up a big play against man-to-man coverage.
George.
Good defense. Excellent defense.
Steve Morrison, number 36.
Boy, he's a good football player. He's hard to fool. He's got a lot of experience, Brent. Counter action like that, they don't run back weak side very often. He does not take the bite. He fills over there to his right and makes the play. No wonder he leads them in tackles. 342 career tackles, number 8 in the history of Michigan linebackers and Michigan defensive football players. Good job there, Steve.
3rd down and 11 for the Bucks. First down Bucks. Still battling to the 5.
They spread them out all the way across the field with 3 wide receivers. They go zone coverage, no man-to-man. You'll see them spread here to here, and they take the back and slip him down through the zone. They keep him here, keep him there, keep him here. Gets right outside. They don't normally throw to this back coming out of the backfield, and the linebacker took too wide of a drop that time. That was Jarrett Irons, took a 2 outside flat drop.
21-yard gain, And the first quarter comes to an end. So when we come back, the Bucks will have it 1st and goal. The ball will be at the Michigan 5-yard line. The Buckeyes leading the Wolverines by a safety, but Ohio State in striking position here at the 5.
Cooper would always rather run the ball to score than he would throw it. But when you have a Galloway like that, you like to get him the ball. They've been very efficient inside the red zone all year, as you just saw by that graphic. 85% score and a high percentage touchdown.
The 2 tackles are lined up on the right side of the formation. George for a yard. Steve Morrison among the maize and blue defenders there.
So you got big bodies on big bodies down there. The young defensive line by Michigan did a nice job that time of keeping their pads down and not getting knocked off the ball. Taking a look at the numbers of the first quarter, Ohio State moving ahead there in yardage, time of possession in favor of Michigan, mainly due to the turnover. The critical thing is here for Ohio State is when they turn it over, their defense rose to the occasion.
They are matching Ty Law one-on-one with Joey Galloway. He is going to either side of the formation with him for the Wolverines. Sualua moves out. Galloway, they try to run a pick. They throw Sualua out of bounds and incomplete. They slide off each other, sending Sualua in motion out on that side, and Steve Morrison going out there defensively.
He did a good job defensing him. He didn't see the ball, but he covered up the receiver so the quarterback couldn't really see him. He was right in line with him. Sualua going in motion now to the right side of your screen. Now that'll stretch the defense. That'll stretch the defense. Linebacker Morrison turning up. They got a force there by the outside linebacker Price, number 8. There's Morrison. See, he's right in line with that receiver, and you can't throw it like you'd like to throw it.
If they're ever going to go to Ricky Dudley at tight end, he's lined up on the left. Maybe now it'll be Galloway. They fake the toss, and Hoynes going to roll for the touchdown. Buckeyes!
Normally when they bring Galloway in motion like that in a 2 tight end situation, they toss him the ball and run the sweep. This time they fake the toss. He does a real nice job of extending the arms, Brent. Draws a crowd, gets pursuit. See the extension of the arms there. That draws the defense. Everyone going. Then he runs a little sneak to Dudley, decides to take it and run it in himself. And he became a running quarterback last week in the ball game against Indiana. Really ran the ball well.
Josh Jackson, the punter, Turner holding. And it's 9-0 Buckeyes. Bobby Hoyne runs one in. And the main storyline, can John Cooper finally beat Michigan? Hoyne scores the game's first touchdown. The Bucs started it off with a safety. They lead it by 9, and now they'll be kicking off to the Wolverines, who must now rally. A year ago, they didn't give up a point to the Buckeyes in Ann Arbor. Malfat with the ball on the tee. There's Diakabatuka. Number 21 has joined Seth Smith. There was another Smith who made headlines regarding this game earlier this week up in Ann Arbor when he popped off. We'll show you that tape. Here's Seth from the 5. Got a hole. Seth Smith to the 46-yard line with Sean Springs saving perhaps a touchdown. We mentioned Walter Smith. Here's what he had to say on why Michigan wanted to win down here in Columbus.
We want to get Cooper fired. That's what I want to do. You know, we want to keep on beating him and beat him until he's no longer there.
So I want to tell you, Columbus was up in arms. Not so much the players and the coaching staff. They pretty much calmly handled it. But the fans in Columbus, in fact, last night Walter Smith was burned in effigy. He did not make the travel squad. He's been injured, caught one pass. I believe it was against Minnesota. Wheatley goes out in motion now for the Wolverines. Todd Collins straight back over the middle, high, incomplete, intended for Mercury Hayes. And Jack Arute, I understand that Walter has shown up today.
Well, Brent, we found him. And Walter, after your comments on Monday, did you have to sneak into Columbus?
Yes, most definitely. I didn't want to do no harm to myself, but I wasn't scared of anything. It was a big rivalry. I was looking forward to coming here and support my staff.
Kind of surprised at how things have gone in the first quarter. Doesn't look like the Wolverines are really on track.
Yes, a little bit of mistakes right now, but we'll turn back and do a good job later.
We'll talk to him in a couple of seconds, Brent. Here's the play.
All right, Jack. Biaka Batuka's in that backfield for the Wolverines, and here he is on a screen pass that's read beautifully. Tackle at the 40 by Styles, number 90, who's off to a whale of the game. And, hey, Jack, you got to tell Walter this is no way to get Coop fired.
Yeah, Walter, Brent Musburger says this is not the way to get John Cooper fired, but you've always been the emotional spark plug to this team. What have you been saying, prowling up and down on the bench here to your teammates?
I just tell them to keep their heads up and try to go be into the game because it's a big rivalry and we're going to always overcome things that's not our way, and we're going to do a better job this game.
Brent?
All right, Jack, here it is. 3rd down and 14 after the loss of 4 yards. Collins throws underneath the Reamer's Ma, his first reception, and Michigan forced a punt. Belisari defending the tight end.
They went to a man coverage underneath and backed him up with 2 free safeties. They couldn't get anybody clean, get him open, forced him to hold on to the football. Very good defense at time by the Buckeyes.
Dick, they came close to blocking a punt, the Buckeyes did. They may want to come down in here.
They're lined up as if they were going to.
And then they drop back. They try to hurry the punter. Galloway will field this one at the 15-yard line. Galloway to the 29-yard line. 28, 12:34 to go first half. 9-0. Buckeyes with the lead. We're coming your way live, and that's just the beginning. North Carolina State, Virginia, Texas Tech, TCU. That's on Friday with our regional coverage to start it off. Then all of you will see #1 Nebraska against Oklahoma from Norman. And out west, that will be your first game, and then you will have Arizona State, Arizona as your second one. So that's our Thursday, Friday lineup coming your way on ABC. Here the Buckeyes lead the Wolverines 9-0 second quarter. Bobby Hoyne, who ran for the game's only touchdown with a new running back. Pepe Pearson, the freshman from Euclid, Ohio, into the backfield. Lined up very deep behind the quarterback. On a fake, Hoyne's going to throw. Incomplete. It was intended for a tight end who had slipped off, and that was DJ Jones.
Good pressure by Glenn Steele, a 4th defensive lineman. Now, Coach Carr, the defensive coordinator, said they will play more 4th-down defensive linemen, specifically so they can get Glenn Steele in the ballgame. A fine young converted tight end now playing defensive lineman and getting better every week. Makes a nice play.
Eddie George returns to the Bucs backfield. 2nd and 10. Slot is off to the left with Sanders, the track man, and Galloway out far to the left. Ty Law has been going with Galloway. Hoyne rolls in that direction. Saunders, and crushed by Law. They drop back into that zone coverage. And John Saunders, what you got? All right, John, so that one looks like it's going to be close. And here the Bucs are up by 9. They came in a very slight underdog. 1st and 10 for the Bucs. The ball is at the 43.
They're going to blitz, Brent.
Here they come. He hits a hot receiver at the 49-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards. It's Buster Tillman.
See, what they did that time is they brought the short corner who was rolled up and brought him in and blitzed him, and they have a side adjustment. You don't have to audible. They just have a move between the quarterback and the wide receiver when they see that happen, and they executed it perfectly that time. Lloyd Carr making his defensive calls. Fine defensive football, brother. Tackles over again.
To the right side where they put the slot receiver Saunders along with Galloway. Hoyne has been rolling in that direction. Now they'll send George, and George crosses the 50 to the 49. This will leave them about 3rd and 2. Matt Dyson there, and a late flag.
Little fisticuffs going on down there between safety Clarence Thompson and Chris Sanders. That big jumbo package really puts pressure on the defense. It also isolates a little bit where you can go with the football, too. You don't have a total package offensive standpoint when you're in that kind of formation. That's it, Coach. Get upset with him. Here's this big jumbo package again. See, that's 650 pounds over there. They come off the ball double. Now they get the kick out. Running back quits on the play. Should have gone on outside with that one. He was a little impatient.
Well, he had reason to be. The tight end couldn't pick up Dyson. The tackles had done their job, and Dyson, who really makes a difference to this Wolverine defense, he came off his block beautifully, Dick, to bring down the running back.
You know, you're getting better at this stuff. You know that, Mr. Bigger?
What are you teaching me, man? It's 1st and 10.
Yeah,
ball inside the 35-yard line. George again to the 30-yard line, and Jared Irons.
Real nice lead block by the fullback. Point of attack block by LaShawn Daniels, the offensive right guard. Boy, there was good contact. You could hear that all the way. First off, we get a real fine block by the offensive right guard in a one-on-one situation. Then we get a good lead block on the linebacker by Nicky Sualua. Wham, nice contact. And the linebacker got his pads down, too. That's tough contact.
2nd and 6, a very costly penalty here at 10:26. Bucks up by 9. George swings left. Now he gets to the 25-yard line. This will leave them with about a 3rd and 1.
Ron Hudson, who coaches the pass offense for Ohio State, said he really wanted to make sure they balanced their run game, pass game, and not get locked into just running, because if they do, they know that Michigan will blitz those running situations. So they've got to throw the ball a little bit more, I think, on those run downs.
Ohio Stadium. John Cooper trying to beat Michigan for the first time. He has one tie in his coaching tenure here. 3rd and 1. Toss to George. Not going to get it. It is 4th down and about 4 yards to go, with Jared Irons picking up the job defensively for the Wolverines.
That junior linebacker has made a number of good plays this year. The son of Gerald Irons, who played for the Raiders for a number of years. Good play. You know, I sort of question tossing the ball outside when you're not a real big outside running team anyway. You've got power, big offensive tackles. Why not run right up their butts? You know, right behind them. Boy, it's easy to make those calls up here, Brent.
Easy to understand the coach, isn't it? Guess we know what he means.
He wanted to go for it on 4th down, I guess. That's
They're going to go again on 4th and 5. Ball inside the 30-yard line. This coaching staff not even hesitating and looking for the field goals here today. They got it together. 1st down with Thompson trying to jar the ball loose, and Galloway would have none of it. 1st down, Buckeyes.
Very good call by Ron Hudson, the quarterback pass offense coach. That's designed specifically for man-to-man. You get scraping right inside like that, but I'll tell you, Thompson really hit him. Most receivers would drop that football. Good pass protection. Good. See, he has time to sit, allow that crossing pattern to develop. He threw it out there where he could tuck it away, and wham! Boy, what a nice hit by Thompson.
Now the 2 big tackles, jumbo formation to the left. Sualua offset in that direction. Jones now gives him all kinds of muscle to the left. George looking for daylight. Slants up, he's got it. Dick, they cannot stop this formation. It's jumbo, and Sualua is also coming to block with those 2 big tackles.
You called it, Brent. The 2 big tackles there, but Sualua was the guy that really made it go. You get the nice blocks right here, and the tight end going in motion, but Sualua now comes from the left side of your screen. He gets those pads down, number 37, keeps his feet moving, opens up that hole. They take advantage of Stringer's block, number 78.
Now the 2 big tackles are off to the right. Stringer and Pace are their names. Behind them. 1st down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Buckeyes.
They have a very nice pass off that formation back to the short side. which is really tough to defense when you're stopping. You know, they're moving the ball over to behind those big tackles like that, and the linebackers and everybody come flying with action.
You'd be awfully tempted to say we've got 4 downs to run it in behind those 2 big fellas.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
would. But I'll tell you this, Michigan's defense against the run has been pretty good. They're 3rd in the Big Ten.
Springer and Pace are off to the right side. Pace is like a vicious blocking tight end in this formation. They cut inside it, and they make their way to the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal. Eddie George out of Philadelphia. His mother is a flight attendant for TWA. She's a single parent, and she has adjusted her schedule throughout his career to make sure that she's able to watch every one of his games. She picks up flights early in the week, and then she's able to get into Columbus or wherever Eddie is playing, and it's just one of those nice stories. She feels you should be here, and now Pepe Pearson will pick him up. 2nd down for the Bucks going in.
With this set, they have been running inside with this formation with the fullback set like that, Brent.
It's the
They're
2 tackles to the left. Pepe with his speed. Great defense that time by Irons.
He can really pursue inside out, and plus he took the correct course. He stayed behind the ball carrier, did not allow him to cut back, and gets his head across the bow front of those numbers. Really a nice job of line backing. Right in the middle of your screen, number 37 will be coming. He keeps moving, he keeps moving. There he is. Now see him get across there. Good line backing.
3 wide receivers check in. Galloway is joined by Sanders and Tillman. They will slot Galloway, making him real dangerous down here on the right side. And timeout. That's the 2nd one used by the Buckeyes. And Hoyne with 6:33 to go. Didn't like what he saw. We'll take a break. The Bucks lead it 9-0 over the Wolverines. Has wrapped up the Big Ten championship and going to Pasadena, but still they trail Northwestern right now 7-0. Dennis Lundy suspended by the Wildcats for this game, but folks, that one is early.
You know, you mentioned Penn State. If they weren't in the conference, we'd be watching a ball game right now to determine who goes to the Rose Bowl.
Exactly. Only the 2nd year, and Penn State has made a huge difference, haven't they?
You bet.
Now it is 3rd and goal. The 3 wide receivers, and they'll move them all to the right side of this formation. Coyne looking back. Galloway incomplete. He overlet him. Galloway had broken free.
That man-to-man coverage had everybody flowing with the quarterback in that sprint out action. Boy, that's tough on the defense too. It just missed the throw. John Cooper takes a deep breath on that one. He's throwing it back to the top of your screen, just out of reach. And if anyone had the ability to burst to get it, this young man. Here again to the left side of your screen, throwing back. He is all alone. More often than not, in that kind of situation, when he's all alone, the defender gets caught in the wash, runs into somebody else.
Josh Jackson makes the short field goal. Jackson puts the Bucks up by 12 points with 6:22 to go in the first half. And now the Wolverines will try to create something of a positive situation here. In case you joined us late, they took the opening kickoff. They won the toss. They did not defer. And the Wolverines moved on down to a 4th and about a ½ yard. And instead of running after a timeout, they threw a simple drop back pass. Incomplete, and the defensive coordinator has been livid about something the officials didn't do down there, and he's still screaming at him from the far side. Carr is like raging over there.
He doesn't normally get that way either. I think it's because he knows that the offensive people picked off the defender, and that's why Galloway was all alone. Give it to him, Coach.
One time, call that illegal pick for me. You've seen it? Or something to that effect. Yakubatuka and Seth Smith are back there.
Both of these guys explosives. Seth Smith had a 100-yard touchdown return this year.
Short kickoff from the 14-yard line. Surrounded and down at the 25-yard line. Plenty of time for the Wolverines. They trail by 12 points. And a reminder, this is just the first game of our doubleheader, so a lot more coming. UCLA picks off USC. Then Oregon also is in. They got 2 rolls of the dice. They don't want to leave it up to the Bruins. They want to do it themselves. Tyrone Wheatley back in the ball game now. Remersma, the tight end. And there's a penalty flag. I think you saw the movement. Let's go back and see, Dick, what Carr was upset about. Let's see if this isn't a pick down here by these receivers.
To the left side of your screen, he's moving in, and you'll see it right here. See, he runs right into the other receiver, who actually is, by design, is trying to do that. He's trying to get him picked off like that. That's how he ends up wide open.
Deion Johnson, how could you miss that one? I mean, usually it's more subtle, folks. The way they work that play is you kind of flash in front of the guy, and you got him hesitating. That time he just creamed him right down here at the goal line. No wonder coach was upset. Had a reason to be. Might have cost him 3 points. Who knows? 1st and 5 after the penalty against the Bucks. Fake to Wheatley. Todd Collins going deep down the middle. Toomer's got it for the Wolverines. First down at the 10-yard line. Kerner saves the touchdown, but the gain is for 59 yards.
Those patterns take an awful long time. They use the kind of action in faking the run that gives a receiver time to get down there. He'll make a strong fake. Tight end going in motion. Remus to the left. Now he makes a strong fake. He comes out naked, no protection out there. Sets up there, no real pressure until very late. Deep, deep crossing pattern behind the other defenders pulled up. Well executed play.
Foster and Wheatley are the running backs. Toomer to the sideline after the huge gain. The Wolverines are at the Buckeye 11, and it's noisy at that end of the field. It's Wheatley on a cutback. Wheatley to the 5. John Saunders, how about the Nittany Lions against Northwestern? What's going on with that? See a graphic that had Northwestern ahead in that game? I got to check on that. All right. I got to call timeout. I've got to find out. How can you mislead me like that? What's happening here? 4:39 to go.
Now you have a big offensive line like Drizel Jenkins at 298, Runyon at 293, Payne at 285, Marinero at 294, and Thomas Gwines at 299. No sense in complicating trying to find that end zone. Let those guys put some weight on their hand, come off that ball, knock some people, or at least hold your own. You're giving it to a gifted running back and let him pick his place to run. Big thing is don't allow penetration down here. Ohio State's been pretty good in the red zone there. I don't think they've been as good as they have been in the past, but they've been down there. Opponents have 26 times, and they've given up 16 touchdowns and 6 field goals. You'd like to force them to more field goals down there and given it in that ratio.
I'm told that was a mistake earlier.
Yeah.
That computer, they'll do it every time.
Oh, those computers.
Those computers for crying out loud.
Everybody else uses the computer breakdown as a problem.
So the Nittany Lions are ahead of the Wildcats, who had not scored earlier. And it is 7-0, and John Saunders just showed you the touchdown. Second down and 5. Bianca Batuka is the running back. He's a tough, slashing runner for the Wolverines. If he gets a chance, he'll battle you. Here he comes. Picking his way. He didn't get his chance to get loose that time.
You know, I don't know what he saw, but it looked like he gave up on the design of the play just a little bit too soon. Maybe he saw something. The great running backs see things that people up here in the booth can't see. And this guy is a very good runner inside that red zone. We've seen him make some real nice runs. And as we said, Ohio State has done a pretty good job in the red zone defensively, but they've given up percentage-wise too many touchdowns down here. Should force more field goals. You'd be happier as a defensive coordinator.
3rd and 4, and Shea Foster, the running back behind Collins. Michigan will throw for it. Incomplete.
Good coverage that time by Sean Springs. boy, he was right in line with the quarterback and the receiver. The only way you could complete that is up over the top of the defender and drop it over the far shoulder of the receiver, and he just couldn't make that throw.
A superb defensive stand by the Buckeyes down here. They have forced Michigan to set up for the field goal. Remy Hamilton will attempt the 22-yarder if they go through with the kick. Riemersma the holder. And Michigan on the board at the 3:52 mark. And while we have an opportunity, let's check in on some other shows coming up on ABC. In college football, Bill Cromartie, a writer who lives down in Georgia, came up and gave us a book up here, Dick, before the game called The Big One, and he's put together all the interesting statistics. And let me read you one. There have now been 603 kickoffs in this series and only one return for a touchdown. Do you remember who? Michigan fans probably do. That was by Michigan's David Ramey. That was in the 1961 game. So here comes kickoff number 604. Will we have number 2? We'll find out. Galloway is back deep along with Springs. Galloway got one last week for the Buckeyes. They'll kick it away from him. Springs from the 5. Swinging to the left. Still only one for a touchdown. Out of bounds at the 25.
Hard to run a wide sideline return when the ball's kicked all the way over on outside the other hash mark, Brent.
Well, the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company has dispatched its blimp, the Spirit of Akron, to give us a unique view of today's game. Some fans of these two schools in Akron, Ohio, let me tell you that. 3:45 to go. Can you believe this weather? Mid-November, Michigan, Ohio State. Remember Vic Janowicz? Oh, in a snowstorm game. Chuck Ortman punting for Michigan. Coyne is hit on the release. Dangerous, could have been picked off. Dyson was over there on that side of the field. Jason Horn had wrapped up the quarterback.
Again, 4 defensive linemen in there rather than 3, so you got 4 people coming on every snap. Very, very dangerous throw. He has enough experience now not to make this kind of throw. They've had so much success with this kind of action, Brent, that sometimes you develop blind confidence as a quarterback in the execution of a play.
3.5 minutes left here, Dick, in the first half. 2nd down and 10 for the Bucks. Coyne on the roll to the right, going to keep it. Coyne slides to the 30-yard line. That's short of the first down. They'll need about 4 yards.
You know, Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, said last night that prior to last week's game, in evaluating Hoying as a quarterback, he was not concerned about his running ability. But last week, he really flashed and ran upfield, ran between people, used some, you know, shake and break moves getting upfield, and it really concerned him. Now, he wasn't going to have anybody spy on him, but everybody is now much more mentally aware of his running ability on that defensive team.
Backs are split. Coyne to throw. Pressured by Horn again, but he's off for the first down.
Jason Horn in there quickly. Real good move by Bobby Hoying. See, they walk a linebacker up and try to draw an offensive lineman's block, and then he drops out and the defensive rushman rushes. A little tough for an inexperienced offensive lineman. They were doing it over there on young Orlando Pace, a true freshman.
At the conclusion of the game, we'll select a genuine Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and for the 24th year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of both Michigan and Ohio State. 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes with 2:44 to go in the first half. We've got a 12-3 count. Ohio State leading Michigan. at the 30-yard line. Glenn Steele.
That's a protection breakdown, and that's what happens sometimes when you get in these really different offensive formations. Your pass protection scheme isn't as sound as your other formation schemes. He comes from the bottom of your screen. See, they're not coming out to pick him up. He's all alone. He should be able to get after him, and he does. See, that's a mental breakdown. Protection did not slide backside, Brent.
7-yard loss. It's 2nd and 17. At the 31, his receivers were covered, and it was Matt Dyson. And now you get the feeling that the Michigan defense has adjusted just a little bit and is playing a little bit better here.
What they did that time, Brent, they went to a change-up zone coverage. He didn't get to throw where he wanted to throw the ball. He sees a running lane. You see the big lane right here. But he's just a little bit late because he's looking downfield to throw the football. If he'd have started a second sooner, he'd have been through there.
Timeout is called, and that is the last one for Michigan. The Buckeyes have one left. And Jack Arute, what's going on?
Well, Brent, there are so many traditions in college football, and so many of them that apply to this game, this contest. One of them is the tradition of the golden pants. Now, I know, that's right. What it is a little charm. These are little golden football pants. They're awarded to every Ohio State Buckeye player that plays in a winning contest against the University of Michigan. The only problem is, over on this sideline, every single one of the players in the squad right now don't have a set of these. And they've been lusting for them throughout their college career. Going into halftime, some of them, I'm sure, will be thinking about these golden pants.
Yeah, Jack, the seniors, in fact, have been talking
Jack
about
wears
that
gold
fact.
pants himself, doesn't he?
Boy, Dick, you are tough today.
I just want to make sure you say what you mean.
That's right.
12-3 is our score. Ohio State over Michigan. 1:41 left here in the first half. This will be a 3rd and 16 for the Buckeyes.
Be very smart to play this very conservatively, Brent.
And that senior class has never beaten Michigan.
See, they show it 2 deep, and then they move out and go a 3 deep.
George running to the 44-yard line. Check that. That was Sualua who got the call that time.
Stop by Steve Morrison.
Steve Morrison with the stop for the Wolverines.
See, they go loose zone right now. Irons is up there, 37, faking the blitz. He backs out. Now he moves over to try to get involved in that draw play, coming from the left to the right. Doesn't grit there.
So Scott Turner to punt. Amani Toomer back deep for Michigan. 1:02. The Wolverines will get this ball inside of a minute without a timeout left and trailing the Buckeyes 12-3. Whistles all over, and they exhausted a little bit too much time, didn't they, in bringing that clock down inside of a minute. Would you go after this punt?
Yes, definitely, Brent. You have nothing to lose from a defensive
Dead
punt
ball.
return.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. The clock will start on the snap.
Amani Toomer has returned 1 for 72 yards per touchdown versus Illinois. It was a big, big play.
Well, a 5-yard penalty would not give Ohio State a first down. You might as well take a crack. They didn't get there, and so it'll be up to Toomer. A bouncing ball which will roll down inside the 5-yard line. Well, coming up, John Saunders with scores and highlights. Keith Jackson will tell us about the upcoming Alabama-Auburn game down south. Frank Sanders, one of the better wide receivers, plays for that Auburn team. Some of you folks will be watching that one a little bit later today. 42 seconds left now and no timeouts. You've got yourself 98 yards. You don't want to make a mistake. You might as well. What do you think, Coach? What would you do here?
They'll use their draw game and that kind of thing, Brent. This is run formation.
Biaka Batuka to the 5.
He's been banged up a little bit, but he's healthier today than he's been for a few weeks. And he is going to be a fine heir apparent to that tailback position, replacing Tyrone Wheatley. Really a good player.
Well, the Buckeyes exhaust their supply of timeouts here in the first half. John Cooper takes a lead into the locker room here at halftime, regardless of what happens. The final 26 seconds and the big question about him and his coaching future. Can he hang on here?
I kind of believe he will. You know, when you and I both visited with him, he says, you know, I've got another year on my contract. You never know.
It's going to be real tough if he doesn't beat Michigan today.
Especially with a lead at halftime. You know, Michigan was down at halftime last week and came back and really played well in the second half. I mean, it was all, when you study them on tape, it was almost like a different group of guys playing football.
Great setting here in Columbus. Some dormitory rooms here in this classic old stadium. See, there was a big story in the Columbus Dispatch on the front page today. They're going to take the old penitentiary that many of you are familiar here, and they're thinking about making it a soccer stadium. Coming in here with a big professional soccer team, that'd be kind of interesting. That would be the big house. That's going to do it. First half comes to the end here with John Cooper. And the Buckeyes, look at that. John's even got time, look at that, for a little radio interview. Now that's a relaxed coach. There he is going off the sideline.
That's his former quarterback interviewing him, Herb Street.
Is that inside information?
Yeah.
Gets that very latest from the coach. John Saunders and the Prudential halftime report coming up. He's not so happy. No interviews with Coach Moeller.
I, William A. Kelly, Mayor of the City of Waverly, do hereby confer honorary lifetime citizenship to Brent Musburger and Dick Vermeil. They're honorary members of this city for their lifetime.
All right. First time I ever got the key to any city. We thank the lovely folks in Waverly. By the way, the mayor said you could have a lifetime contract as coach of the high school football team. You want to go back? Now's your chance. They want you. How about our second half here? I don't think it's over yet.
Oh, no. Michigan has been a very good second half football team, especially in the third quarter. And last week, it was different. It's a night and day from the first half to the second half. I look for them to come back and do a much better job of the use of their offense and quit screwing around.
Yeah, they got to do that.
Oh, they have. That's what they've been doing.
You didn't like that 4th and 1 on that first drive.
That got me pretty good. I got some other people covered pretty good, too.
Okay, let's take a look now at some of the statistics that we have here at the end of the first half. Here is the safety. We'll start with the 2 points.
No one had to tackle him on that one. See, the other thing they've not been doing a good job from a Michigan standpoint, Brent, is fielding punts, and that's allowed that poor field position. But you see the stats are not dominated by either team. Time of possession a little bit in favor of Ohio State. Ohio State -1 in turnover, but the defense did a real good job. I think glaring here is Michigan is not running the ball like they're capable of running the football.
Now we go to Jack Arute.
Well, Brent, let's give you another statistic. Back in 1990, John Cooper and the Ohio State Buckeyes went into the locker room at halftime, and they were leading 10-6. Now, Cooper is 0-5-1, as we've said. They came out and they lost the game by 16-13. But when they were in the locker room this time, it was the defensive coaches that came into the offensive team meetings and got very emotional with the players. Tried to remind them about how important this game was. In fact, one of the players told me as he came out, it almost wanted me to break out in tears. The OSU Buckeyes are sky high getting ready for the second half. Meanwhile, the Michigan Wolverines, well, they're going about their business-like work. They don't feel they played that badly in the first half. They're going to keep things just the way they've been. Brent?
The second half kickoff by the Wolverines. The Bucks will receive it from the 5 with Springs. Springs down the right side, trying to cut back, and nailed from behind at the 35-yard line. Chris Floyd, promising youngster on that Michigan team, came out of nowhere to make the stop there on that special. Jack Arute, Dick, he probably thought that this enormous crowd was cheering and screaming for him a moment ago. What we had was a streaker who ran to midfield and gave us the famous Heisman pose right there at the 30-yard line. And you know, you folks will understand why we could not let you see that video. But Jack, we want you to know that it was not for you, big fella. Okay. 1st and 10 now for the Bucks, coming out from the 34-yard line. 12-3. Buckeyes with a lead over the Wolverines. Showing blitz. Here they come. Bobby Hoyne hit in the middle defensively by Trent Zinkowitz.
They brought the strong safety. That gives them the extra rusher. They go man-to-man downfield. Coverage was good. No place to go with the ball. He didn't want to throw the interception. Zinkowitz, who is a very intense young defensive lineman, he just keeps coming. See, he has to hold the football here, and here comes the old Zinker right there. Zink zacks him.
A beautiful Saturday afternoon in Columbus, Ohio. 12-3. The Buckeyes trying to beat Michigan for the first time under Coach John Cooper.
They're in a nickel defense right now. 5 defensive backs.
Tight end in motion. George sprinting in that direction. They stretch him out, and he's down at the 30-yard line. There's a penalty flag thrown by one of the linesmen.
Ohio State has not been a good outside running team. They're a tackle-to-tackle running team. And the defense, Michigan is doing a good job of just pushing them to the sideline. They faked the reverse on that, Brent. They probably have something coming in the game plan later on off that play.
The preliminary indication was a holding call against the Buckeyes here. Morrison, the hard-working inside linebacker, who is the captain.
Second and real long. You might just go ahead and refuse that penalty. Put him into 3rd and very long. Don't give him another down.
Penalties decline.
Yeah.
3rd down.
Now there's your offensive leaders from the first half of the game. George, 41 yards rushing. Sualua with 14. Sanders caught 3 passes to Galloway's 2. Sanders is frequently overlooked. He brings a lot of speed into the formation. They'd love to get the ball in his hands here on 3rd and 13. They have a slot formation with Sanders there to the right of Hoyne. They roll in that direction. And he's got him. That's a first. No, hold on, it is not. They're out at the 40. That's going to leave them about 4 yards shy and force a punt.
What they did with that play is just get it so now they can punt him and pin him back in their own territory. But Amani Toomer has got to start fielding the punts and not allow them the ball to bounce. They've lost a lot of yards. They've been losing 20 yards in the exchange of punts, Brent. Too many yards.
Turner. Toomer. And here comes the snap right at you.
Good snap.
Toomer fields this one at the 22, slips a tackle, and he's out to the 30. That's a lot different for the Michigan offense to be out at the 30 than buried down inside their 5-yard line.
See, and that allows you to go ahead and get into your game plan too, Brent. Now
been the Wolverines' quarter so far this season. We'll see. Wheatley is the running back. Todd Collins. Remersma shifts over to the right side of the formation. Jay Foster offset as the fullback. as Collins makes the call at the line for the backs. The toss to Wheatley behind Shea Foster. And Wheatley will be out of bounds after gaining 5-6 yards with Tito Paul running him out of bounds. So Tyrone Wheatley came into the season the preseason favorite to capture the Heisman Trophy, but unfortunately that separated shoulder took him out of it.
Good block right here by the tight end, getting a hook on Belisari. You can't run outside unless your tight end can do this. He kept his balance, stayed after it. Now he's got him walled off. Should have taken that ball up inside that lane. They've got to get the ball in Wheatley's hands more.
At 46 yards in the first half. He gets the first carry in the second. This will be 2nd down and 4. Same formation alignment with Riemersma over to the right. Wheatley cuts back. Wheatley for the first down.
You know, as good as Michigan has been in the third quarter, Ohio State's defense in the third quarter and second half have really been outstanding. They've only given up 71 points the entire season in the second half, 34 of those points in the third quarter. So we should have a real even battle here. The big thing with the size of Michigan's offensive line, and they, you know, there's some young guys in there, but they can come off the ball. And when you have a running back like Wheatley, if you just give him a little crack, he'll move it upfield.
Coach Moeller with the hand signal. They are not making any substitutions right now. They're going with the same offensive package. Back with Wheatley to the 43-yard line.
See, right now they're battling big people on big people. You've got to be patient. You're playing against a good defensive team. You don't have to win the ball game in one play. Just be patient, move the ball, use all your people. Here we are, good battles going on. Big offensive lineman on big defensive lineman. Bonhouse, number 70, getting turned out. They're running up inside him. And this defensive team is a very smart defensive team. They have 6 academic all Big Ten Conference players playing on that field right now.
An interesting package right now for Michigan. Wheatley is out. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and Foster to give him an additional backer as Collins is going to throw to the fullback, slipping out. Out to the 47-yard line. Belisari is there defensively. This is short of the first down. Michigan must reach midfield for a first down.
Real nice job by Belisari. They had, like you said, Brent, the 2 tight ends, and he gets locked up on the running back coming out. Real smart kid, pre-med student, academic all Big Ten. His family members went to Ohio State, very loyal to this red and silver.
Wheatley replaces Foster. He's back in on 3rd and 3 for the Wolverines. 3 wide receivers. Todd Richards joins this package, and Richards comes in motion. Now cuts back. Collins has time. First down over the middle, and it was Todd Richards inside the 40-yard line to the 37-yard line. First down, and the Wolverines are on the move.
That's what that kind of movement does for you. When you run a receiver man-to-man like that, you get people looking at you, you get them out of position, you go out, and then you come back underneath like they did with that. That really works good. It distracts the defense, and also it disguises your intentions.
Now they'll go double tight with Cooper replacing Richards here. It's 12-3, Ohio State leading Michigan in Columbus, Ohio, just underway here in the third quarter. That's Riemersma. Fake to Wheatley. Collins buys time. Going to go for 6. Toomer in the end zone. Here comes the penalty flag. Now in the NFL, it would be 1st and goal, but not in the college game. It'll be a little less penal here.
Real strong running play fake, trying to pull those safeties up, throwing it down in between 2 people, laying it up deep. Excellent action. It looks run all the way. If you're a fan sitting there and now you're playing safety, you would too have thought that was a running play. Here it is coming right down the middle. Tim Patillo, 21, runs into him a little bit early. Pass interference, 15 yards, first down.
So the ball is going to be put down at the Buckeye 22-yard line.
When you put plays like that in your game plan as a coach, you put them in for a reason. You think you know which corner to go after in play action and which safety to freeze with that play action.
It's a very animated John Cooper with his job on the line here today. Wheatley stopped short of the 20-yard line. Mike Vrabel out of Stowe, Ohio, helping to lead the defense. And John Cooper sometimes rather quiet down on the sideline, but not today. He's ahead 12-3.
He said they had an awfully good week of preparation, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Very good. He backed off on them Thursday. Wasn't very hot tempo, very light. He feels the kids were really getting themselves ready to play, and he said this is a hard group to read mentally. And after that shocker at Penn State, boy, says that they're due for a good one.
Davis into the backfield for Michigan. 2nd and 10 for Collins and the offense. 3 wide receivers again. Toomers to the left of the short side. They'll run Davis. Big hole in the middle. Good call by the Wolverines. To the 9. It's 1st and goal, Michigan.
The key to that was Joe Marinaro, the big offensive right guard, the senior from Andover, Mass. Did a real nice job in his draw set, and he took the defender and just turned him to the outside. He'll be right here on the other side of the quarterback. He'll set and turn the defender to the outside. He'll run right up underneath him. Boom, nice job, good technique taught there, good forearm with the left shoulder working in there. Nice hole.
Davis didn't realize he was to stay in that backfield. Foster has returned. They're set in the eye. Foster had to tell the running back to play, and now he relays the information from Collins. It'll be Davis. Davis into the middle again to the 3-yard line. Tim Patillo makes the stop.
People don't run enough draw plays. They're hard enough to read in the NFL, let alone down in college. And these kids are very intense. You get down inside the red zone. Those defensive tackles are really coming after the people and attacking them to hold their own against those big offensive linemen. Draws are excellent calls.
2nd and goal for the Wolverines. Davis stays in that backfield behind Foster. Richards is the slot receiver. Davis
nice
again,
job.
And a great stop that time by Belisari.
He came from the backside, and they had a wide slot over there, so there's no tight end to make that corner for a little wider for him to rush around. He comes down the line of scrimmage from the backside. Did a real nice job. He's coming from right here, and he comes right down. See, no tight end right there, so that makes it a short corner for him to come around. He gets a snap jump right there. It's a little delayed handoff, and here he comes down. Good job by Belisari.
Riemersma brings the play in from the Michigan sideline. The tight end to the left side of the formation where they are strong right now, with Richards slotted in that direction. Toomers off to the right. He's locked up one-on-one on the right side, and Collins uses a timeout.
I can't believe it. I mean, every critical situation we've had in this ball game, Brent, they've used a timeout.
You'd think they had plenty of time during the week.
Yes, we'll be right back.
ABC Sports brought to you by Microsoft. Where do you want to go today? And the beer that's colder, bolder, yet smooth as ice, Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. 8:04, 3rd quarter, 12-3. Ohio State leading, Michigan threatening. This is 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Davis is the running back. Riemersma to the left. It is very noisy.
I think he wants to throw the fade now. He sees that tight coverage over there on Amani Toomer with Sean Springs. Now they back out, Brent.
They're backing out of it. If they're going to go, it's coming off the corner. They fade the other way to Hayes. Hayes in the air, out of bounds. 4th down, field goal time, perhaps for Michigan.
Really tough to hear down there in the corner if they do any audibling, too. A lot of noise down there. See their passing signals. Here, Richardson, 83. Look at him. He wants to know what's going on. What'd you say there?
Here comes the field goal now. Oh, brother, if you had a good fake field goal, would you use it now? Would you get to the short side as fast as you can? Remy Hamilton's going to attempt the 22-yarder. Here it comes. And Michigan settles for its 2nd field goal right now. It is 12-6, but if I'm upstairs and I'm looking at that field goal defense, I'm saying the short side was there with a block. We'll be right back. 92,000, the big horseshoe. Columbus, Ohio, and I suppose that's what Coach Cooper might look like here if he can't make this lead hold up. Who gave me that line? Was that Jimmy Tubbs who did that?
Yeah, he must have been, because it was.
Where'd that come from? 7:55. Galloway and Springs now. They're back to return this. Galloway from the 9. Galloway to the right side. He broke one over there, and he is out of bounds at the 34-yard line. 12-6 the score now. It's only a 6-point lead. So a touchdown, an extra point would put Michigan ahead. The Buckeyes feeling the heat a little bit with a touchdown, a field goal, and the safety that started them out with a 2-0 lead. They've been ahead all the way. Their ball is at the 28-yard line. Bobby Hoyne, 9 of 15 on the day.
Tackles over.
Their jumbo formation to the left. George to the middle of the defense, and Jared Irons, who's made a lot of stops down there in the middle of that defense. Both Steve Morrison and Jared Irons have played well today.
Good, solid linebackers. Steve Morrison, of course, a senior. Jared Irons, just a junior, will be back and lead this defense next year.
Sualua, who has been used a lot, not only as a runner, but also as a receiver, checks into the Buckeye backfield.
Nickel defense. Oop,
they're hitting blitz. They're coming off the corner. Bobby Hoyne is sacked. That's twice they have made it work, and Zinkowitz gets the sack. They are very conscious of the corner blitz, and up the middle comes the real pressure.
You use that play action, seeing the quarterback turns his back to his right side there, and he can't see that guy coming. They blitz to the top of the screen, and here at the bottom, you just have a stunt coming here. They come around, you see the back to the quarterback. He doesn't see Zinkowitz, who's stunted from the inside, coming around. He has been consistent pressure all day.
9-yard loss on the sack. 3rd and 18. Sanders to the left slot. Galloway outside of him. That's where the dangerous wide receivers are, if Hoyne can find time. They bluff blitz off the corner. Run George in the other direction. He's on the slant, battles his way to the 31. But the Bucks are forced to punt.
They have not generated, I think, a first down here in the second half offensively, have they? They have not moved the ball. Good defense by the Wolverines.
Like we showed you at the start of the half, the third quarter has belonged to the Wolverines all year long. Toomer back to return another one. He'll be standing at the 33-yard line. Turn up punting.
Nice punt. Really got it up there.
There's the fair catch signal by Toomer at the 36-yard line. And John Saunders, how about the Florida Gators? Tyrone Wheatley into the backfield. Takes the handoff from Collins. And Wheatley squeezes out to the 41-yard line. Now, we mentioned Saturday, and that's just the beginning. Will be the Florida State game, and then perhaps one of the most entertaining. Notre Dame will be taking on the USC Trojans. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. Second down and 6. Ritchie is in at fullback. Foster is out. He offsets to the right. Wheatley behind him. Wheatley is short of the first down. Lorenzo Styles there defensively.
Geez, he really flows inside out nicely on a play, Brent. He doesn't overrun it. That does not allow the running back to cut back and run underneath his pursuit. Good job of playing that inside linebacker spot. 68 yards. If you keep giving the ball to that guy, he will make one long run. He will make a 50, 60-yard run.
Ritchie is out, and Cooper, an extra tight end, joins the formation very late on 3rd and 1. Blitz by the Buckeyes. Wheatley running away from it. They jam it. Penalty flag. Penalty flag is called. Wheatley was close to the first down marker, but there is a flag.
Real good job by the down defensive lineman on that side. Mike Vrabel did a good job of not getting knocked off the ball. Didn't make the play, but he didn't get knocked off so other people could get over there.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Costly penalty.
You see Styles here attacking that run, short yardage, now moving inside out. Bonoff, number 70, trying to hold his ground. They tried to grab him right there. That's what it was right there. John Runyon tried to grab Styles, number 90's foot with his right arm, and they caught him.
3rd and 11. Hayes is off to the right. Richards is slotted to the left with Monty Toomer outside of him and Ed Davis, the running back. The Wolverines to put it up now. Collins gets time, throws, overthrew Toomer. He had him. Incomplete, and Michigan will punt.
That's the #1 pass offensive pattern that they use in that down and distance situation. They like to throw that deep square in. Not all quarterbacks can throw that well, and Todd Collins normally throws that accurately and right on the money. That time, just too high. Good defensive series right there for Ohio State, because the offense has been 3 downs and out of there. They go again now and make Michigan go 3 downs and out.
I don't know what the big delay is over here in this punting situation. Joey Galloway is back deep to return the punt. The Bucks have been close a couple of times. Ty Howard has been able to come off the corner and get close. Galloway is back deep. They've got 10 men up front, the Bucks do.
They're coming.
They're coming. They're coming. No flag. Galloway fair catch at the 25-yard line. John Saunders, how about Duke and North Carolina? One there, and here, John, we have just sent the punter from Michigan to acting school. Had he gone down on that last play, take a look at this. Now, if he would just go down in pain and start screaming bloody murder and start yelling.
Yeah, that's close enough right there.
You bet. He's just got to fall right over. Now first down, and Hoyne hands to George.
Nice.
And this Wolverine defense attacks that hole. Zinkowitz was there. Morrison was there. The Wolverines showing some life here in the second half.
The guy that was really there and created the real problem was Glenn Steele, a defensive end. Took an inside charge underneath the tight end and got in there and just raised havoc with that play. Right here, he's going underneath it. That's really tough on the tight ends. Underneath there like that, takes on the blocker, spills it, works back inside. Nice job of playing defensive end.
Second down and 11. Off the fake. Hoyne. Now he's slammed by Steele again.
I'll tell you this, when Lloyd Carr was raving about this Steele kid last night to both you and I, he has made the coach a prophet. He's 100% correct. This guy's a player. He's a man out there. I'll tell you this, Ohio State has to go back and do what they do best. The best thing they do is run the isolation plays with the fullback leading. The last time they ran one, they made about 8 yards, and they haven't gotten back to it. But that's what they do best. Critical situations, do what you do best.
Third and 11, and young Carr, the backup quarterback, has been just loosening up in case over there on the far side.
Throw the ball to the tight end in this situation. They like to down the sideline.
Penalty flag is thrown. Hoyne is tackled at the 29-yard line, and they apparently are going to get the Bucks for holding.
Sualua was going down the sideline from his man in motion position all alone. He's walking off the field. He's very dejected. Bobby just didn't see him quick enough.
Bobby is down, I believe, isn't he, here at the 29? Is that the quarterback who did not get back up? Let's hold on here a second and see.
Trainers Billy Hill and Bill Davis out there looking over Bobby Hoying.
Their backup quarterback is a young man who can run by the name of Stanley Jackson. He's a freshman from Patterson, New Jersey. Take a look here at Hoying.
Possible shoulder the way he went down there.
Yeah. Now here's the young man who would be in the spot. This is Stanley Jackson. They think he has a wealth of talent, and now he's a young man who has not played a lot. So when the rush comes, the book on him is that sometimes he'll dance out of there and take off, but he would certainly give them a little bit of a different look right now. I mean the Michigan defense, because Hoying will have to come to the sideline here after receiving a medical attention at the 29-yard line. Of course, it is 4th down. So in the meantime, perhaps Hoying will recover. He walks off okay. Jackson will continue to get warm just in case. And the Bucks will punt it away here at the 1:44 mark. The third quarter disappearing with the Wolverines dominating, but they settled for 1 field goal on the scoreboard. So they cut the Ohio State lead to 6. And we're going to have a 4th quarter.
And the offense is putting too much pressure on the Buckeye defense, Brent. They've got too good an offensive line not to be able to run the football.
Line drive.
It's
Toomer.
a turn type ball there.
35. He'll outrun the first wave. Comes to the sideline, and he is out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Marlon Kerner in pursuit. Now Todd Collins and the Wolverine offense getting ready to come back. Jackaroo, what's up with Tyrone Wheatley?
Well, Brent, if you ask the trainers, they say nothing. But as we watched Tyrone Wheatley during that last series of downs, Wheatley was a little bit gimpy on his right ankle. He came off. He tried to walk it off. He tried to run it off. He had the trainers take a look at. He's back in the field, back on the field. But watch to see if he starts to favor that right side.
All right, Jack. They fake to him, and this time Remersma down the hole. The play that beat Notre Dame inside the 35-yard line. It was open against the Irish on that critical winning drive earlier this year.
That kind of draw fake inside, this kind of draw fake inside freezes the backers here, and they slip the tight end right down through that zone. Really tough on young linebackers as they see that. See, they have to acknowledge. There they acknowledge it. He can't get back out of there. Remus is free in the hole.
Collins to Remersma for 19 yards and a first down at the 35-yard line. Wheatley cuts left. Wheatley to the 33-yard line.
In visiting with Wheatley last night, he said he feels healthier than he's felt all year. Felt very, very good about coming into this football game.
Davis will replace him right now.
You know, he ran awfully well last week, Davis did. Coach said that he actually probably runs better coming off the bench than he did when he was a starter at one time. He just runs better as a backup.
Foster, the fullback. Toomer and Hayes, the wide receivers, and Remersma is the tight end. Davis, left side, short side's all alone. He's going to go out at the 20-yard line. First down, Michigan. On the move again, but can they finish?
Again, those draw plays. See, you get the defensive end to come upfield. You get him upfield, the tackle turns him out. See, you get him upfield, the tackle turns him out. Then your fullback has a clean shot at the linebacker. And Shea Foster, the fullback, does a nice job of cutting the linebacker. Boink, down goes Powell, number 84, and there's that big hole.
Rob Vanderleest checks in. It's double tight, double wide to the right, and Davis, the running back. First and 10, the ball is inside the 20-yard line.
They're either going to blitz or bluff the blitz. They're bluffing it. They got him to audible that time, Brent.
And he'll throw. Hayes Hayes for no gain. Ridden down at the 20 by Tito Paul.
Good job of disguising intentions by Tito Paul. He came in and pretended like he was going to run a safety blitz. He didn't. He backed out, got him to the audible, no gain, completed pass. Michigan just dominating that third quarter. Ohio State defense being left on the field way too much.
And as a result, the Wolverines with a chance to pull this out from behind. And that's our doubleheader game ahead of us. Many of you will watch Auburn, Alabama. Back with the fourth quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, a reminder that tomorrow on ABC at 1 Eastern, Martina Navratilova in her final professional tournament, the Virginia Slims Championships, and after that, special performances and the pairs and dance competitions at the Sudafed Skate America International, all tomorrow right here on ABC. Hayes is to the slot. It's 2nd down and 10 for Michigan, trailing by 6 points. The ball is inside the Buckeye 20-yard line. The toss is to Davis. Davis in a foot race, smashed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Craig Powell, the defender.
Trezell Jenkins, the big offensive left tackle, number 77, just got enough meat at the defensive end to allow that ball to get outside there. And you're blocking a real good defensive lineman out there in Matt Finkus. It's hard to do. So you have to give Trezell Jenkins some real credit on the execution of that play.
This will be a 3rd and 6. Michigan needs to reach the 9-yard line. Collins has got a man diving incomplete out of the end zone. He had Toomer.
He had him all the way, Brent. He just threw it outside. That man in motion still was creating confusion inside the defense right there. He throws it to the right side of your screen. All he has to do is put it in there, and see, Toomer had to turn over outside there. See, he wasn't able to hang on to it. Marlon Kerner, 46 there.
Remy Hamilton. He has already kicked 2 22-yarders.
He's a record-breaker field goal kicker for the Wolverines. High snap.
High snap. Reaversma block. It's a loose ball. Picked up. No, he couldn't get a handle. And it'll be down at the 48-yard line on the blocked field goal.
That high snap, that just throws all the timing off. You only have 1.2 seconds from the snap to the kick to get that ball off. When you get the ball snapped that high, you lose all rhythm. It's really tough. See, it's way up there. Bulash centered it too high. He gets it down. Rhythm's all off. It gets blocked by Marlon Kerner. Now it's a free ball. Another look, again, way up there. Kerner comes around just like he's supposed to in front of the ball, plays volleyball with it, bats it back. Mike Vrabel, 94, tries to pick it up. He can't make it, but they get the ball.
Can you imagine the emotions as Marlon Kerner blocks that field goal? The emotions this man is feeling right now. He's got 14:37. His heart was sinking. It looked like he was going to go behind, perhaps. Another field goal would have tightened the noose around his neck. Bobby Hoyne back in the game. Incomplete, and it's 2nd and 10. And Coach, you didn't like that one bit.
It's so easy to sit up here and watch people play, but I look at things physically. I look at 2 great big tackles that can come off the ball, that would play in the National Football League for 15 years. Give them a chance to block somebody. Eat up some clock time. Come off the ball.
Point made.
Oh, I tell you, I used to make the same mistakes myself. Not that it's a mistake, but you know what I'm talking about, Brent.
Oh, yeah. I feel for you, Parker. Kerner with a big play. And now it's 2nd and 10. Hoyne's got him lined up in the eye. Eddie George has been his tailback most of the way. Galloway's in that left slot. This is Eddie George into the arms of Dyson and across the 45 to the 43-yard line, where it will be 3rd down.
That's that tackle counter play, and they've been running that real well all year. And Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, told me he was very concerned about that play because it's a tough play to defense.
This is going to be a 3rd and 6.
Now they're audibling their 3rd down passing package, Brent, according to what they see. They see man-to-man. Looks like blitz. Here they come.
Coyne throws complete to Galloway, and that is the first down of this half for the Buckeyes.
And a great catch. Not every receiver will make that catch, Brent. Under pressure, good job by Bobby Hoying. Obviously not banged up, throwing physically well. He threw it behind him, though. Tough catch. They blitz from the left side. You see left linebacker coming, outside safety. He steps up inside, throws it. It's behind him. He goes back and catches it, 1st down.
Buckeyes at the Michigan 25-yard line.
They're going to run the ball straight ahead this time, Brent.
Here they are. George, no gain, perhaps a loss of a yard. Sienkiewicz.
Point of attack blocked perfectly. Backside tight end could not cut off Sienkiewicz. Sienkiewicz has been a pain in the neck all day coming down from that backside.
That's a football name, isn't it?
It is.
Sienkiewicz. Wind up with the Chicago Bears. A name like that.
24 tackles for his loss and a career 12 sacks. He knows where that ball's going.
2nd down, 11 for the Bucks.
There's an all-purpose player, let alone yardage guy.
Need to find him a couple more times.
Blitz, short side.
Option, Coyne cut off, back the other way, slips a tackle, won't get past number 28, Deion Johnson.
Lloyd Carr outguessed him that time. He brought the weak side corner off the wide receiver. And boy, is that tough on an offensive player. He blitzes in there. They're running the option right into it. Not much choice. Bottom of your screen. Number 23, that's Hankins. He's coming in. See, he wanted to run the option there. Couldn't get it run. Now he takes off and goes backside, showing scrambling ability.
That's a 4-yard loss. But more importantly, from a Michigan standpoint, Matt Dyson down again. Number 91 suffered a broken bone in his foot in the season opener, later came back, then suffered another injury, and now this could be down to the right ankle. Young man has been plagued by injuries. He came in with a very bright football future.
A lot of talent, Brent. He came in there a high hurdler. Finished tops in the state, not first, but up in the numbers. For a big linebacker, that's athletic talent.
We'll be right back. Floating above the big horseshoe, very familiar sight. The Goodyear blimp. Goodyear has been providing aerial views for nearly 30 years. 12:27 to go. After the 4-yard loss, it'll be 3rd and 15. Ohio State believes it must get to the 25 before they can employ their field goal specialist here today. So they would need 5 yards to do that. And Hoyne will throw the screen pass to the middle, and Galloway, they saved it. Galloway across the 20. Short of the 1st down, but that's good enough for field goal range.
They ran that middle screen to him. He's a very elusive runner up inside, as he just demonstrated there. He is also a very tough runner. Linemen can block downfield in college football. They're down in front of him. He takes that ball up inside. Now he will leap trying to get that 1st down.
Josh Jackson, who made a 26-yarder in the 2nd quarter.
He's 5 for 7 this year at this distance.
A big one. 3, and it's good as he points to the heavens. His grandfather passing away earlier this year, and Josh said he would remember him the rest of the way when he was successful on a field goal. Breathing a little easier. This is huge. 2:22 to go. It's 15-6. Ohio State leads Michigan with a big field goal by Josh Jackson. Smith at the 6. Smith to the 21-yard line. Ty Howard.
Ty did a great job on that play, Brent. He really fought through people, just kept hustling over there. A sophomore from Columbus, Ohio. Special teams are so critical. Attaboy, Ty. You know, my neighbor's named Ty. That's an unusual name.
Had a quarterback out at Brigham Young with that name a few years ago. Wasn't half bad.
Wasn't too bad. We enjoyed watching him play, and he's still playing.
Up in Green Bay. Backs up Brett Favre. 1st and 10. Wolverines up against it now. Collins. Batted. Intercepted. Buckeyes.
Big Luke. Nothing more exciting for a defensive lineman than to bat it down and intercept that batted ball. They ran the draw fake in there, trying to freeze the linebackers, make the fake inside there. Nice fake, comes back, sets up, throws it, penetration inside. He threw it a little bit soft. Look at that hand get up there. The ball's down in Big Luke Fickell, two-time academic all-conference football player, doing a nice job.
Now, which wide receiver do you throw it to right away and go in zone right now? Don't even wait. Galloway is off to the right. They're going to try to get him locked up one-on-one if they can. Deion Johnson is the corner on that side. They show a running formation, and they'll run with it. It's George inside the 10. Thompson.
That's what they do best, Brent. This is the 8th time I have seen Ohio State play football, and this is what they do best. Run up behind the big All-American, 3-time All-American tackle. Let him block people. Let him take them on. Let him knock people off the ball. Force the defensive backs to make the tackle. As long as you don't break down backside, they can run at the point of attack.
Couldn't be bigger than it is right now for that man. A year left on his contract. Win this one, and it's almost certain the coaches feel that they'll be back to finish out that contract. George again to the 7.
Nice defense in there by Will Carr. Got penetration. 6 foot, 275 pound, good quickness.
Remember, this is the school that screwed up when they fired Earl Bruce. That's very much on their mind. They do not want to make that mistake and louse up on their recruiting again. It's 3rd down. The Comp USA Citrus Bowl awaits the winner.
3rd and 1.
Timeout, Hoyne.
Joe Hollis, offensive coordinator, signaling the quarterback over to him.
Back in a moment. Brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. De Beers, a diamond is forever. And the Norelco razor for our closest shave ever. Every time I see that diamond billboard, I think of De Beers. It is third. George slashes to the 3. Sualua leads the way. It's 1st and goal, Bucks.
Know where your best players are and then give them an opportunity to prove it. That's exactly what they did that time. 330-pound All-American right tackle run right up his rear end. And it's big enough to cover a few acres over there, believe me.
The Buckeyes getting ready to say, Mickey Mouse, here we come. Get me to Orlando. George flashes to the 1.
Outstanding linebacker play and fullback play. This is a stalemate at the point of attack. This is war on the gridiron. Fullback right here. He's leading through. Linebacker right here. What a collision. No place for sissies. Wham! Look at that. Good defensive play there. Jared Irons, you're a man, buddy.
Second down and goal. Sualua and George in that backfield. And Moeller, who has never lost in November, is in trouble on this Saturday. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
Probably go for 2 here. Now they're going to kick it up. They got a kicker out there.
Josh Jackson. Little Frosty. George's touchdown follows the Luke Fickle interception. It doesn't look like today either. Glorious career. We have 8:35 to go. It's 22-6. Michigan searching for a couple of big plays, a couple of 2-point conversions, anything to get back. Here's Smith from the 11. Smith to the 26-yard line. And now Collins will see if he can find Hayes, Toomer, work a running back out of the backfield, Reamersma down the slot. And we go back to the very first quarter, the very first drive of this game. Michigan on the move had a 4th and 1 and elected to throw not a play action pass, but a straight drop back pass that went incomplete, and thus won an opportunity to perhaps take an early lead in this game. 1st and 10. Collins goes searching. Complete. This is Toomer to the 41-yard line.
Eddie George, junior tailback, big strong guy, takes it in there. I walked on the practice field with him the other day. He was very quiet. He's a very talkative kid normally. He was very quiet. He said he was really getting himself mentally ready to play.
Here's Wheatley. Wheatley to the 48-yard line, and it would be a huge Buckeye mistake to put this one in the win column as of yet. There are too many big play performers on the other side of the field. They have moved the chains twice in 2 plays. They hit Toomer and they run Wheatley, and they've also got Hayes. Hayes is off to the left now. Richards, the slot receiver, and Collins. His receivers were covered, and he's sacked at the 46. Mike Vrabel.
He wanted to throw the ball against that double zone down the hole. Good linebacker coverage underneath, nickel coverage underneath. He could not do it. He was forced to hold onto the football. You'll see a receiver will end up coming down in here, and the linebacker and nickelback ends up getting into it. Lorenzo Styles, number 90. Now he's just right in the line of the flight right there. Now they get another one into it right there. He could not throw it.
4-yard loss. 2nd 14. Collins and the Wolverines. And it's Davis across midfield. This will be 3rd and 10. John, what about Virginia Tech? And here it's 3rd and 9. John Cooper trying to beat Michigan for the first time. Ed Davis is running back. Collins, Davis, out of bounds, short of the first down. Styles ran him out of bounds on the far side.
So they went man-to-man underneath all the way across that spread formation, backed him up with 2 safeties, got the ball to the back coming out of the backfield on the linebacker. Tough to make a first down on that unless he can turn upfield with the ball.
22-6, Michigan trailing with 6:40 to go. They can't move fast enough for Cooper.
They haven't thrown the ball to the Wheatley out of the backfield in this situation yet, Brent.
Here is 4th down. They need 4 yards to keep it alive. They've got it. Richards snaps it out of the air at the 26-yard line. First down, Michigan.
Beautiful throw by Todd Collins. He was under pressure that time by Craig Powell. He got knocked down when he threw the ball. Crossing pattern, maintained concentration by the quarterback. Excellent job crossing from the left to the bottom of your screen. He lays it out there, gets knocked down, put it right where he had to put it. Nice touch.
Now Michigan will attempt to score as quickly as they can. Go for the 2-point conversion and see if they can give themselves a chance. Collins handing off. Wheatley to the 13-yard line, and it's first down again, and the time is stopped at 6:19. You got to ask yourself, where were these weapons today?
They've been there. See, but now you got the defense spread out, loosened up, and maybe just a little bit relaxed. Now they run the draw up inside. Got the rush coming up, and this guy is so quick. Good block by Rod Payne, the center, and he explodes upfield.
A lot of time left if they can hit and pick up the 2-point conversion. Slot formation off to the left for the Wolverines. They bring Richards in motion. He's been a good receiver here today. Collins looks underneath to Wheatley, and Wheatley is wrapped up at the 15 by Tito Paul, and that's a loss.
They rolled to a 3-deep defense, and that rolled the strong safety up into the slot, right in position to make that play. Bill Young, the defensive coordinator, under a lot of pressure right now, making these calls.
The clock is moving toward 5.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Brent, you know, down here, believe this or not, their flanker backs, Michigan's flanker backs, all year have not caught a touchdown pass.
Davis is the running back behind Collins. Sprints to the right. Penalty flag, overthrow, incomplete, and another flag is down.
Normally in nuts, yeah, it's a holding situation. And an illegal man downfield.
With that illegal receiver downfield, you heard John Cooper tell him, take that loss of down. That's what's important right now. One of the things that's been very interesting, wait here now for
an eligible receiver downfield on the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 2nd down.
The yards apparently more important
than the down.
I thought, reading his lips, that he was very...
I thought Cooper said that, did he not?
That's what I thought. But anyway, one of the things about John that I want to point out, when you came in here this week, it really was not a bunker mentality with him. He knew the pressure. He'd heard the rumors. He seemed very relaxed this week. Very gracious as always. 2nd down now. Collins. Incomplete, and the pass rush all over the Michigan quarterback.
Excellent rush up inside again by Matt Finkus. You know, they set a school record today in quarterback sacks. broke the 1991 record. Now is an example of why they've done it. Good pressure up inside. Man-to-man coverage. He couldn't throw the ball right away. Receivers couldn't get away. Matt Finkes, 15. He has more than that now. Vrabel, 17. Single season record held by Jason Simmons. I think they might have broke that today.
3rd and 23. They can get a first down inside the 3-yard line.
Trezell Jenkins moved and hit this man in motion.
Wow.
Personal foul on the offensive tackle. He hit his own receiver. He can't believe it. It was
Take
a
look at this now.
Right here, the big tackle at the bottom of your screen. He makes a mistake. He gets off early. Boop. God, I ran into a truck. Where'd he come from? That's the second time he's moved prior to the snap today.
So it's only 3rd and 28.
They're up pressing wide receivers. They might as well stay with that man coverage. It's been good to them. Excellent.
All over Richards that time.
Tito Paul. All over him. Here he is, a senior. Was a top special teams player here for 2 years. This year, his first year as a starter. Has never intercepted a ball in his career, but he made a bigger play on that one right there.
5 minutes to go, and they'll be gunning for it here on 4th down. There's Coach Young calling the defensive plays from the Ohio State sideline. Remember, this is a defensive coordinator who watched his defense give up 63, count 'em, points at Happy Valley. But they weren't that bad. That was one of those games. Penn State did everything right. You talked to the coaches about that. Even the youngsters were able to shake it off. Jackaroo.
Brett, I found a family that at least part of the family's going to win today. This is young Brian Kennedy. You can see he's decked out as a Michigan Wolverine fan. And this is his father, Will. Now, Will, how did your son ever become a Wolverine fan?
You'd have to ask him.
Well, let's ask him. Why are you a Wolverine fan here out of Warren, Ohio?
Because it's like Todd Collins and Tyrone Wheatley. Yeah.
Well, not a good day for you, though.
No.
But tell me the rest of this story. You get home to the dinner table and you got to put up with him and your wife. Who's she root for?
Notre Dame.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in that one, guys. They take their football seriously here in the Midwest.
Well, she still feeds him, though.
That's right. That's my man, the coach. Well, 5 minutes to go. I think we can safely say that legend of the psychic down the road in Waverly.
First mistake.
About to go up in flames.
Yeah. She was 3-0 coming into this game.
Buckeye fans will be happy to hear that. She picked Iowa to come in here and watch them win. I remember that.
Yeah.
Here's the big horseshoe. Oh, are they going to enjoy it in Columbus tonight?
Too bad we're not staying over.
Baby, yeah.
A couple places you and I are pretty popular in here. Maybe even go back to the Emmett House.
4th down.
Now they're playing zone, Brent.
Bucks ball. The victory's at hand now.
Excellent wide outside rush by Matt Finkes. He came right around Trezell Jenkins, the big offensive left tackle. It didn't get out in his pass set quick enough, and Finkes got to him. An honor student in engineering. Now he's an honor student in pass rushing. Coming from the right side of your screen, coming outside, hard, quick rush. Down he goes to the outside area. Good job.
And now it is clock time for the Buckeyes. What a game he had. Michigan had a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line, and they turn it over on 4th down at the 41. And a penalty flag. John Saunders, how about the West Virginia Mountaineer? Ohio State leading 22-6. Mike Stock is over there next to John Cooper. And oh, how the crowd is going to enjoy this.
Oh, man.
George
It's a
slipped,
knockdown block there. A beautiful knockdown block by LaShawn Daniels, and the running back falls down. Now, that guard is going to be very frustrated over there. I knocked a man on his back, pancaked him, and you don't get to the point of attack. LaShawn, we give you credit for doing a great job.
George gets up a little gimpy on that play, too.
Well, remember, he hurt his ankle in the Penn State game.
Now, looking ahead at the CompUSA Citrus Bowl, Ohio State appears headed, and they would take on the loser of the Florida-Alabama game. Big Ten against Southeastern Conference. Back with George out to the 42, and a reminder, if this clock continues to move, we'll have a little time for you. The Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. John will have scores and highlights. Rivalry day here in college football. In fact, it's rivalry week, isn't it? Big matchups.
Oregon State's the big matchup.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be something if the Ducks make it down there under Coach Brooks all the way to the Rose Bowl? It'd be a great story.
The last time Oregon played in the Rose Bowl, I played against them in the regular season. My first starting job as a quarterback.
58.
Yeah. 1957 season, 58 Rose Bowl.
Wow. Bobby Hoyne.
Got to sweep it. Don't go out of bounds. Attaboy. Don't go out of bounds.
Kept the clock running. Got the first down.
That's the first time I've seen that play all year. Well, you know, earlier you're talking about schedules and emphasizing the point of the schedule that the Wolverines have played. Oh, that was murdersome, that first part of the season. And it takes a little out of you. It takes, and I don't know if they ever totally recovered from that last play loss to Colorado. That, gosh, you know, sometimes that just hangs on you the rest of the season.
Wolverines made a lot of mistakes today.
Yes, they did.
There's Walter Smith. He may have made the first mistake of the week.
They'd be better off right now balancing up their formation, not going tackles over, 2 tight ends, 2 tackles on each side of the ball and run, because now they're slanting the entire defense right into the strength of the offensive formation.
You know, we just saw a shot of Todd Collins. I want to make a point about him. He has had and is winding up a great career at Michigan, and it's unusual for someone of that caliber not to wind up in the Rose Bowl. He's been a starter over there for a couple of years, and that was one of his goals, and that's going to elude the young man. He'll go on. They'll go down to San Diego. They may wind up playing Colorado State. Second down, handoff. They begin to run the clock. This is Pepe Pearson. And the clock is stopped here at the 1:46 mark. It's interesting, but I believe the last time Michigan went to the Holiday Bowl, Bull Schembechler was the coach, and Brigham Young won the national championship.
That's right. That's right.
I remember.
You're right.
And Colorado State, with a win over Fresno State, they would be Michigan's opponent there.
Colorado State is a good football team, too. You know, you may not give them credit for being in the WAC, but we were there.
I want to hear John Cooper say to Jack Arute, I'm going to Disneyland. Man, Disney World, I should say, in Orlando. I want to hear that. Third down. The Bucks. Hoyne sacked at the 49.
They're asking those tackles to do an impossible job. Hook a guy slanting in the direction of the strength of the formation. Tough. You know, a coach like Coach Cooper, you know, every coach deserves the opportunity to experience a win like this, you know, because there are so many heartaches in this profession.
There's a reminder that what's ahead of us here on ABC. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this up. 1:39 to go, and the Bucks are going to win it. Nebraska with a big one coming up next Friday. Down to Oklahoma. Penn State beating Northwestern, headed to the Rose Bowl. Alabama, Auburn a little bit later. There's Colorado State later against Fresno State. Oregon, chance to go to the Rose Bowl. And here, just a moment ago while we were away, John Cooper just a little misty-eyed down there on that sideline. This is an emotional afternoon for the embattled coach of the Buckeyes. A lot of pressure with all the jobs in college football, but none more so, I would think, than here in Columbus. Ooh, penalty flag thrown on the punt. Out to the 24, but there is a flag.
And that'll be a first down. That's a flagrant. That'll be a first down. Joe Hollis, offensive coordinator. Real pleasant guy to visit with. Helps us tremendously in preparing for the ball games.
An unhappy alum of Ohio State, Coach Moeller. And John Cooper's moments now. Season to forget for Moeller, and an afternoon to remember for Cooper.
That's John Cooper Jr. We're standing right next to him there, Brent.
What are you doing back there? Get up here.
And the Bucks just winding it on down now. You can just imagine how the entire coaching staff feels. You can imagine the jobs that are at risk. It's not just the head coach. It's all the other people and the support people and all the families that have to move and the new schools and the new jobs.
There's Ron Hudson, the pass offense coach, quarterback coach there to the right of your screen. Joe Hollis there next to John.
Freddie Puggage with the baseball cap on, works with the linebackers here.
Played in this game himself.
Jackson in at quarterback. And he just hands the ball off. Pearson, the backup running back.
Got some seniors going in there right now, Brent, to take a snap.
Final minute. Crowd getting ready to rush the field. And John Cooper has finally beaten Michigan. No one deserves this ride any more than the coach, who's been pummeled down there in the middle of that group right now. He's disappeared. He rose and then he fell again. Somebody find the coach. Jackaroo, have you found him?
Well, we're to see if you met him here. almost like they sprayed some tear gas or something. Coach, first of all, 6 times you've tried. Congratulations.
Well, we tried 6 times, but today, it makes today's win even that better.
Now,
even that much better.
Now, we know about how important it is to the players to trip to the Citrus Bowl, but how about to you personally? How about to the rest of your time here?
I don't worry about me. Let's do it later on.
This is pandemonium. Absolutely out of control. But what he did say before we went on the air, and they're spraying tear gas down here. Believe it or not.
Our players of the game, we're going to break from tradition. Jared Irons for Michigan, and we're going to give it to a coach, John Cooper. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. The goalposts have been saved. A moment to remember for Corey Stringer, John Cooper, and the rest of the Buckeyes. And in 2 weeks, they'll find out who they'll play in Orlando. The loser of the Florida-Alabama game. Next year, they'll do it all over again. Only the setting will be different. Ann Arbor. This was Columbus, and the home team prevailed. The Buckeyes of Ohio State, a slight underdog, pick off Michigan. 22-6, the final score. And for a coach, it was the biggest win of his career. Finally, John Cooper beats that dreaded team up north. So long, everybody.